It goes without saying that the Miami Heat have shattered all expectations this season. After all, despite having an extremely young core, they have made it all the way to the NBA Finals. And in all honesty, it likely wouldn't have been possible without the help of Tyler Herro, a real hero on the court. He's been putting up consistent numbers every night. Yet despite this, there is still a lot that most people don't know about the 6'5" shooting guard. So today, we're going to be giving you the inside scoop by counting down the top 10 things you didn't know about Tyler Herro. But before we do, don't forget to like, subscribe, and smash that notifications button so that you never miss out on any of our latest content. Number 10, hometown hate. While Tyler Herro may be one of the league's most likable players today, in his hometown of Greenfield, Wisconsin, this wasn't always the case. You see, the hate started when, despite committing to play for the local University of Wisconsin, he then decommitted and switched over to the more prestigious University of Kentucky. This angered many fans in his hometown, and as such, despite only being in high school, he began to have snakes thrown at him during games, have his house egged by vandals, and even received a number of death threats. Yet despite all of this, Herro remained strong and ultimately had an amazing season at Kentucky. Number 9, surpassing college expectations. Although Herro may have been recruited by Kentucky, his coaches didn't exactly have high expectations of him coming into college. After all, he was only a 4-star recruit, and thus, despite being a great player, he really wasn't of a caliber that would suggest that he should start. Yet, he showed his Kentucky coaches that this wasn't the case, and ended up not only starting, but being the only player to start all 37 games, while averaging an impressive 14 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 2.5 assists. This ultimately led him to being named the SEC Rookie of the Year by the Associated Press, while also making it to the NCAA Tournament All-Midwest Region team. Number 8, his nickname. While many NBA players have rather interesting nicknames, few are quite as good as Tyler Herro's. That's because both Kendrick Nunn and Chris Silva have taken to calling him Baby Goat, with many of his teammates following along. This has ultimately led to the Miami Heat beginning to sell Baby Goat shirts to fans, with the clothing line being announced on Twitter on April 10th of 2020. However, on our ends, we're pretty sure that Tyler Herro doesn't mind. Number 7, the NBA Draft. Tyler Herro has emerged as one of the league's best rookies. Yet despite this, most of the league was a little more uncertain of this. That's because he ended up going at a respectable, yet relatively low position of 13th to the Miami Heat, with him being picked behind arguably worse players such as Cam Johnson and Jackson Hayes. Yet, after averaging an impressive 13.5 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists during the regular season, he certainly proved his doubters wrong. Number 6, his girlfriend. While Tyler Herro may be best known for his performances on the court, it turns out that his game has been pretty great off it as well. That's because he currently is dating swimwear model and influencer Katya Elise Henry, with her standing apart due to the fact that she is not only Kyle Kuzma's ex, but in fact arguably more famous than Herro himself. That's because she has amassed a massive 7.8 million person following on Instagram, dwarfing Herro's relatively small 1.7 million person following. And while the two haven't seen much of each other in recent months, due to the fact that she has just recently entered the NBA bubble, she will have the chance to celebrate with him if the Heat wins the finals. Number 5, his favorite food. Miami is easily one of the most multicultural cities in America, and as a result, it is a city that has a lot more options in terms of cuisine than Herro's hometown of Greenfield, Wisconsin. As such, Herro has taken the time to expand his palate and has tried several different types of food that wouldn't have been available to him back home. However, when asked which is his favorite, he responded that, quote, "I like the Cuban food in Miami. It's fire." And while he didn't elaborate as to what exactly his preferred dish was, we're sure that no matter what it was, it definitely tasted delicious.
Hola. To say my name.
That's easy.
I took Spanish, so I know a couple things. That's about it.
Any favorite food from over there, from Miami? Any favorite food?
I like the Cuban food they got in Miami. It's fire.
Hey, yo.
Number 4, his first big purchase. Typically speaking, when NBA players first get paid, they'll go out and spend a lot of money. After all, athletes in the league are known to buy nice cars, flashy jewelry, and expensive clothes. And Herro was no exception. Yet, believe it or not, his first purchase would not be on himself. That's because rather than spending selfishly, he chose to buy a Gucci purse for his mom. with this setting him back a considerable high $5,000. And while he would go on to buy himself a Jeep and a Mercedes for a total of $200,000 and buy a new wardrobe for $85,000, his actions certainly show that he tends to put himself ahead of others.
The very first thing I bought, I think, was a Gucci purse for my mom. I bought 2 cars. I bought a Jeep and then a Mercedes. Clothing, $85,000.
Number 3, his old job. Although basketball players tend to focus on honing their skills throughout their high school and college years, Herro had to work in jobs that didn't exactly have anything to do with basketball. That's because despite spending his summers working at a basketball summer camp in the cold Wisconsin winter, he would trade in his basketball shoes for snow boots by working with his dad as a snowplow operator. Now, the work was anything but glamorous. After all, he would typically earn $10 an hour while working 5 hours a night, earning what he called a, quote, quick 50 in the process. Yet, now that he is playing professional basketball in sunny Miami, the chances of him ever having to do this again are extremely low.
My first job was I worked for my dad doing snow plowing and stuff like that. I'd probably say $10 an hour. I'll probably work for 5 hours a night, quick 50.
Number 2, his family. Like most NBA players, Herro has a family off the court as well, and it is about as typical as it gets. That's because in addition to having a mom named Jennifer and a dad named Christopher, he has 2 younger brothers by the name of Austin and Miles, both of whom play basketball like their brother. And while they may come from a small town and may not exactly be the most affluent family around, Tyler Herro is certainly an example about how someone who comes from little can make a name for themselves. Number 1, his contract. While Herro may be playing at an all-star level this offseason, averaging an impressive 16.5 points, 4 assists, and 5.5 rebounds per game, his rookie contract suggests anything but. That's because like most rookies, his pay per year is relatively low, and he is currently signed on to make $3.6 million this year. And while he will be expected to make $3.8 million next year, with team options to extend him to $4 million in 2021 and $5.7 million in 2022, he will unfortunately have to wait until the summer of 2023 to get a big payday. That's all we have for you today, everyone, and thank you all for watching. Let us know in the comments section down below what you thought was the most interesting fact about Tyler Herro. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and smash that notifications button so that you never miss out on any of our latest content. Until next time.